good evening, viewer. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be doing a sample senior 5 practical question about ICT, the very first question of this kind. So I'm going to be using this cover photo that's available for this video, and whenever you see this cover photo around internet, it's just about the question I'm doing. So the question, like I've said, it's about Senior 5 Subsidiary ICT Paper 2 Abridged Curriculum. So I want to just sample this question uh, to my learners, at least at the end of this term, so that I test their capabilities with various computer programs that they are meant to study in the Senior 5 class. That is Word, PowerPoint, and Spreadsheets. Okay, like I've said, the question is about Senior 5. It's about the abridged curriculum that is in S5, and it is testing learners' capabilities with the programs of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Now, before I continue to the question, um, like I've said, it's the first question of this kind. I'm going to attach it in the description of the video, and I'm going to also attach all other files related to this video. So feel free to use the description so that you can get whatever you want with this question I am attempting. So at YouTube, this is my channel. These are some of the questions I've been doing, and they they are from various classes. So it's about channel has a lot of videos that are from various classes. That is S4, S6, S3. There's the latest I've done here. It's an ICT book for ordinary level new curriculum, etc. etc. There are a lot of questions that you can go to, and then you get whatever you want within the ICT grounds. Whichever class the learner is in, there are very many videos that can guide them on whatever they are to do. Okay, so back to the issue of today. The question I'm doing, like I've said, it's about S5, and this is the scenario question I'm going to be attempting today. So here we are. This is the question. So here we are at the question. The question starts from here at the heading that Senior 5 practical scenario. So here we are. Luuka Village Sacco has a total number of 10 participants who converge every Friday at a certain village hall to make discussions about its well-being. Whenever participants meet, they discuss about savings made, profits made, percentage from total, position of each participant according to profits made, and a general comment from the Sacco head, Mr. Walulia Jonathan. So the process has always been carried out using manual means, that is, the Sacco has books where information is kept. However, the Sacco leader has been advised about usage of ICTs in the group day to day activities um, of calculations, presentations in Sacco meetings and reports. Full stop. As a member of local village Sacco, the group leader has spotted you as someone with ICT skills to help incorporate ICTs in the Sacco day-to-day activities. Now, some important information has been provided to guide you achieve this in the support folder, ICT Abridged Support. The task is digitalize Luuka Sacco activities as directed in the statements above. And also the hint, it is each participant should at least receive a report of their participation with photos attached. Profit is to also be calculated as percentage of total, and also a presentation of their meetings in the district hall to also be presented. Now back to Back to the cover photo of the video. Like I've said, the video is about the senior 5 class, and learners are being tested whether they can use the various softwares they've been studying from term 1 to solve a challenge. Now, the challenge ahead, according to my scenario here, the challenge is it's just a circle in Luuka village. Luuka is a certain district in the eastern part of the country, eastern part of Uganda, and it seems they have a circle that they are participating in. There are people participating in the circle, and maybe they do these four items whenever they meet, and the head, Mr. Aurelia, feels that whatever activities that are done should be digitalized. ICT tools should be used, do the activities that are done in the circle. And we're supposed to digitalize everything using the programs the learners study from S5 term 1. Now, the support folders, we're going to use our ICT Abridged support, and we're going to use that to do whatever we are doing. The question is going to be attached into the description for practice purposes. If you're a teacher and you want to test your learners whether they can use those programs to to solve a certain challenge in this scenario, yeah, you can pick it and then you pick the support folders as well, and then you test your learners. You see whether they can do something that they are urged to do. Now back at my folder I'm using, the folder I'm using, it's A level sample prac question. And before I go to the support folders I'm going to use, I can open the ICT Senior 5 syllabus book as portrayed by NCDC. If I open it and then I see what what is inside there, I want to confirm whether a learner uh, at this moment, senior 5 third term, I want to confirm whether a learner has studied the three programs that we are testing in this scenario, and then we see what next. So I'm trying to open this syllabus book for senior 5, and then we see when learners are supposed to study these programs. We want to see whether uh, they have already done some of the formatting features that are going to be asked for to solve the challenge ahead in Luuka Village Sacco. Yeah, so as my syllabus book is opening, I'm trying to open my syllabus book. It is right here, and I'm also going to open this detailed syllabus for ICT to see whether learners have already got a chance to study the three programs that are being tested in this video tutorial. So as I open the two, I'm going to be doing it's going to be my take about this question. And you could have a slightly different take. You could brainstorm about this to see how things are going to be done in scenario 5. This is just a sample question, and I'm not confirming that this is the actual thing, but um, I'm trying to show viewers how I'm going to test my learners in S5 at the end of term 3, that is next month. So here we are. This is the detailed syllabus for ICT as displayed. I'm going to attach it in the description video to help you get it as well. So this is a detailed syllabus of senior 5, and we see that senior 5 term 1, a learner gets a chance of studying electronic presentation, that is PowerPoint. So PowerPoint, senior 5 term 1, a learner studies that. So at this moment, a senior 5 learner can do something in PowerPoint. And also, um, when I scroll to term 2, senior 5, 2025, um, I'm not seeing any practical software, but in term 3, a learner has already done word processing, and also a learner has done some small spreadsheet or Excel. Yeah, and Excel is here. It's also in term 3, senior 5, the current term. I will attach this um, copy in the description of the video if at all you want to pick it, you the viewer. And this one was just a syllabus book for ICT. I was trying to open it with Word. Let me try to open it with Chrome, and then I just view it. So this is the syllabus book, Abridged Curriculum, Senior 5, and according to what learners are supposed to study in Subsidiary ICT, at this moment, Senior 5, Term 3, a learner would have studied, you see here, Term 1, there is presentation, and Term 3, the learner would have studied word processing and at least some spreadsheet before they go to the Senior 6 class of next year. Yeah, so according to my tutorial, I'm going to be rotating around the two programs to surely solve the task ahead. And your learners should also be rotating around this for the best in the future. So back to the question. The question is about a Sacco, people in a Sacco, and the head wants to digitalize things. The head is tired of hard copies. Maybe the head is tired of not using ICTs within the Sacco, and he simply wants to digitalize activities in the Sacco. So this is my take about a sample senior 5 question. I'm thinking the sample question, the practical question uh, the senior 5 can do, it is compared to the item 1 a senior 4 does um, in the national exams or in practical papers. Item 1 in senior 4 asks for office programs, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and database. Now, for this case, learners have not yet studied database in senior 5. That is why I won't add in database in this video tutorial. So I want to use three programs to solve a task in this case. Now the support folders we're going to use are also here, and if I open them, um, yeah, they look like this. Now maybe the Sacco has been using these documents, the manual documents, to do their activities, and it seems the head is tired of using those manual documents. They look like that, something like that. So and other sample folders we're going to use are here, and then there's a file Luuka participants and Excel file. Okay, so back to the question, back to the sample question I was doing. Um, it is right here. S5 practical scenario. It is right here. Okay, so the sample question is right here, and before a learner does a practical, they should know how to deal with support folders. So senior fives, they are taught how to deal with support folders. They are given support folders to use in a practical exam, and things are very clear. Like mine here, this is the support folder they are going to use in the exam. It's called ICT underscore abridged support. And they're supposed to do at least calculations, presentations, and circle meetings and reports. So whenever we hear of calculations, that is Excel. Presentations, PowerPoint. Circle meetings and reports, Word. We're supposed to rotate around that. So I'm going to use a folder on the desktop, and I'm going to just rename it. I'm going to give it my name, and it's the folder I'm going to use for the entire video. So even a learner in a paper, they're supposed to use uh, their folder properly renamed on the computer desktop. So they're supposed to use a folder properly renamed on the computer desktop, and so I'm going to use a folder on the desktop, and And I'm going to properly rename it. So learners always are advised to do that. So I'm going to rename it Marvin Kasozi. Yeah, so this is the folder I want to use for this case, and I want to just get a starting point right from the question. Now the question they're directing me to go to my support folder, ICT Abridged support, and then I see what's there. I've already checked that, and then I get my starting point. So if I check my support folder, it's under A level ICT Abridged, and this is my starting point. Now these photos are not my starting point. My starting point in most cases it's Excel, it's a spreadsheet. So I'm going to just copy it and I take it to my computer working folder. So I'm going to copy it and I paste it in my working folder. I'm going to just paste it here, and after pasting it I can slightly change the renaming to the renaming could be different from the one that appears in the support folder to avoid confusion of files. So if I click at rename and show more items, yeah, then I locate rename. I can rename it as Luuka participants, maybe loaded, so that I can differentiate this from the file in the support folders. So here we are. This is the spreadsheet that I'm going to be dealing with, that I'm going to be working with, so that I can do whatever I want. Now back to the question. This is the question. Here at the 4 points, this is just an introduction that Luuka has 10 participants. And whenever they meet, they do these four things. So in my Excel, I should mind the four bullets that I've received here whenever, in my Excel, I'm going to do. And also, a learner is supposed to add other formatting features. They're not directly asked, but I feel it's like the one of ordinary level. A learner is supposed to add in formatting features they've been studying in their practical lessons. So I'm going to first do the four, and then I add in some of the formatting features that a learner could have studied in spreadsheets in senior 5 in this very term, third term. So back to my spreadsheet, I'm going to be using this to carry out my calculations. Before I even use this, I can maybe rename the sheet as original, original, original sheet. So a learner is not even told to do whatever I want to do in cases of formatting, but they feel their their formatting skills should be, applied at this level. So I've renamed this original sheet, and maybe I can just continue to this. I can highlight my original sheet. I can copy this, Control C, then I can add a sheet, and I just paste it here. So this is the other one was the original sheet, and it had our content. This is the content at the original sheet, and um, I feel I was just copying it to this sheet where I can do whatever I want. So I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to use the sheet to do whatever formatting features I want in Excel. So this is it, and I'm going to start with profits. Back to the question, the profits here. If I go to the question, it's saying that profits made in brackets percentage from total. So I'm going to calculate the profits, and I'm going to get it from the total percentage from the total profits. They are just a percentage from the total. We don't have the total yet, but we're going to calculate it somewhere so that we can also get our profit done. So I'm going to use a cell down here to do a total, and it's going to be under the savings main. So I'm going to type something like total savings. After typing total savings, I put the formula or function that can return my answer equals sum open bracket, and from here this is C2 to C11. I close and I press enter. So my total profits for Luuka Sacco so far is 970,000, 1.9 M. So it's the total, and it seems I can also do the profit. According to the question, back to the question here, profits, it is percentage of the total. Of course, after getting savings made, you get a percentage of each person from the total. Since Mr. Waluya saved 150,000 from the total savings of 1.9. So I want to come here. Learners have at least studied something about self-referencing. That is absolute. So I want to put equals, then I go to C15 having my total. I lock it with F4. Before I lock it even, I'm going to get equals savings made, that is C2 divided by C15 locked function 4 times 100 to get the profits made, the percentage of the profits made. Press enter, and then when I scroll down, each person is going to have their own profit or their own sector in Luuka. For example, the highest is 10 here. That is Mr. Chirunda Farid. Mr. Chirunda Farid saved at least 10% from the total savings. So that was the idea there at profits made. To me, I simply used the idea of getting the total, then I get each person's savings over the total, I make it absolute times the 100, I get a percentage of each person. I can even put a bracket here, and then I put a percentage to show that, it's just about percentages. So the highest person in the percentage is 10, that is Mr. Chirunda Farid. I can highlight this as well, and then I give it, I reduce on the decimal points so that the numbers are clearly understood. I had made a mistake. The highest person is, I think, Mrs. Ainem Babazi Janat. Mrs. Ainem Babazi Jan with a 46% from the total savings of the company. I can proceed to proof. I can put a proof that this is proof. Yeah, the proof is I'm going to add this equals sum open brackets. You add from D2 to D11, close and press enter. That is 100, and it's really proof that 100 is the maximum percentage. If you add all the profits made percentage wise, the total number is 100. I can highlight the two and I give them all orders. After doing that, I can proceed to the next. So after doing the proof, the total savings and the proof, I head to the position of each participant. Now, learners in S5 also taught positioning, and it's just a rank, open bracket. And then what are you basing on to position? I'm going to base on the profits made. I'm going to click at this, comma, repeat the D2, and lock it. Full colons, it ends at D11, lock it as well. Function 4, comma, 0, close, press enter. If I'm fast there, you can rewind and then see how things are done. You see, the first person is Mrs. Aine Mbabazi Jen. She's taking up position number 1 because she has saved a lot of money with the company. There she is. And also a general comment, because according to the question, the general comment was required, and I'm supposed to comment on the Sacco head, on the Sacco, and from the Sacco head, idea. So a learner is also supposed to generate their own idea. You see, at this way of studying, you may not be given the actual question that is required, but the thing is wide. Take a look at this. A general comment from the Sacco head, Mr. Waluja Jonathan. And if you look at the file I've loaded, there is a general comment from the Sacco head. So you're not going to look for the specific values that are required. You're going to generate your own values so that you can come up with a comment. Learners are also taught the if comment in Excel. So here, I'm going to start with equals if. I open the bracket. So I'm going to comment on percentages. If a percentage is above 10, I want to call that, um, maybe savings group 1. If it's above 10, I want to rename it, to give it a comment, savings group 1. If it's below 10, I can comment on that savings group 2. And I'm not saying that a learner should only comment like that. The thing is wide. It is not old style. The thing is wide. So I'm going to start with equals if profits are in D2. I'm using profit to comment. If D2 is greater than or equal to 10, comma. If D2 is greater than or equal to 10, comma, in quotes, I can save this as savings. People who are above or equal to 10, savings group 1. I close the quotes, comma. Another if D2 is less than 10, comma, what happens in quotes? Savings group 2. Close the quotes and close bracket 2 times, press enter, and scroll to the last person so that they get their comments. Now it seems my comment is the same. I made a mistake somewhere. This is group 2. It's supposed to be group 2, and I can see people who are, you know, in various groups according to their savings. If someone is in group 1, they have saved a lot with the company. If they're in group 2, it's just minimum. So group two, I can highlight the group twos, group two, group two, group two, and group two. Yeah, I can highlight those groups and I just give them a color. Just mind about the colors used. They should not, you know, overflow whatever you're doing. They should be bright colors. So that is it with the 4 key points that were in my question up here. So these people are 10 in the group, and according to the question, that the process has been carried out using manual means. That is, the Sacco has books where information is kept. However, the Sacco leader has been advised about usage of ICTs in the group day-to-day activities of calculations. So I'm there at calculations Excel. Presentations, that is now PowerPoint. And Sacco meetings and reports, that is now Word. And as a group member of Luuka Village Sacco, the group leader has spotted you as someone with ICT skills to help incorporate ICTs in the Sacco day-to-day activities. They have just given you the support folder to use. The simple task is digitalize Luuka activities. It's what I'm doing. I've started digitalizing, starting with Excel. And also, these are just hints. There's a very important hint there that each participant should at least receive a report for their participation with photos attached. You get? So each participant should receive a report that is mail merge. We shall do that later on. And profit is to be calculated as a percentage of total. I've already done that. And presentation for their meetings in the district hall to be presented as well. That is PowerPoint. Yeah. So I've done some Excel and I'm going to continue doing more of Excel. So this is original sheet. I didn't do anything from here in the you know in the original sheet. Maybe in the original sheet I could just I could even leave it like that. I could leave it like that, and then This is the the sheet I've been using for calculations, and maybe at the headings I could bold them, give them a color. That is all learners. It's learners' creativity. Learners are creative to do all that, and after doing all that, I can proceed to more of Excel, you know, functions. I can go back to my support folder and I look at the abridged support files, and yeah, I'm landing on photos here. There are a lot of photos according to what I'm doing, and the photos are properly renamed for a reason. If I look at my Excel has numbers. Each and every participant has a number. For example, L001, it's Mr. Walulia John, the man is here. Mr. Kaketo 2 here. Mrs. Ainembabazi Jane here. 3. Ainemukama Amos here. 4. Apio Ian here. That is 5. 6. Chirunda Farid here. 7. Lady Nakato Margaret here. And 8. Luyombia Wycliffe here, 9 Musinguzi Joshua here, and 10 Sechiganda Isaac here. Yeah, so I'm going to simply do this. I can add a column, I can right click here, and then I select insert so that I have a column inserted there, and I can rename it ID, and then I can put, some information here. I can click at a cell, I click at insert, and then I can click at illustrations, pictures. For people with old versions, you can use insert and look for picture. It could be there. Pictures, and then pictures in the cell, and I select this device, and then yeah, the computer is going to load me to the files, and then I go to PC, desktop, I look for abridged. I'm using this, then abridged here, and the support L001 insert. So the man's photo is going to go there. I proceed to the next. There are 10 pictures, place device, 2 insert, 3 pictures, place here, then 3 insert. For those with a version that is lower than 2024, insert you have pictures there, I guess. Place in this cell device L004, yeah. Then here I'm heading to 5. Here we are. That is Apio. It looks like that. Then Chirunda. Chirunda, where are you? Chirunda 6. Chirunda 6. The man looks like that. And 7. 7, that is Nakato. Nakato looks like that. 8. Luyombia. 8. Luyombia looks like this. Luyombia looks like this. Yeah. 9. 999, the man looks like that. 10, 10, that is Sechi Ganda Isaac. Click OK. Yeah, and then remember Excel, I can give my work all borders. All borders should be there for just uniformity. And here we are. So their photos are attached with their records. For example, this is Walulia. If I look at Walulia, if I look at him from here, from the ID up to the number, the name, savings made, his percentage, position of each participant, general comment from the Sacco. So that is the information about the man, and it is really there. So I can put photos in my work. Yeah, the photos have been applied in my work, and that is spreadsheet. Not forgetting the heading. It's important for me to have an outstanding heading in spreadsheet. Not putting a heading on top of my spreadsheet could affect, for this case, mail merge. For the case of database in the next year when senior 5s are in senior 6, it can also affect my e-boating. So it is better for me to, let me first name this sheet as uh, maybe formatted content Then this one, I can rename it as heading. This one can have my heading about the Sacco. Yeah, and I can put my heading at this sheet. I can right click at this, then I select uh, merge and center, merge and center. It's here, and I can type something like Luuka. The heading is Luuka Village, Luuka Village Sacco, Luuka Village Sacco data as of end of October 2025. I've thought of the reason as to why this heading cannot go in my sheet here, because I want to merge and it can affect my merging. If I could also do database, it could affect my importing. The regular sheet is here, the formatted sheet is here, and the heading is right here. So of course the heading is always outstanding. I can click at it and I can give it a bigger, yeah, a bigger size because it's a heading. Remember that, and the etc. I can give it a color. I can I can do whatever I want with the heading, so that brings out that impression. So that is it with my heading. I can click at it once again, and I can go to insert, and I can make it a link. Insert a link, and place in this document, and it can link me to the formatted content, very important content, so that when someone clicks at this heading, it takes them to the media content. As I wind up with Excel, I can proceed to the very last option of presenting my work graphically. It has not been asked in the question, but remember, a learner is supposed to use a lot of formatting features as taught in the class. But provided you first do the asked features, that's why I first did this, and then you add in more of your creativity as a learner according to what you have been studying in the program you are using. So Excel, I'm going to conclude my Excel with a graph. This is the original work, this is the formatted content, and this is my heading. So number 4, I want to just uh, rename it Luuka Luuka graph. Because I'm doing information about Luuka, you should mind the renaming you make. So Luuka graph. And I'm going to use the formatted content to first of all highlight a participant name, and I can also highlight their percentage. Maybe I want that. You can highlight participant name and savings if you want. You can highlight participant ID, whatever you want. May I want it participant name, hold control, participant, profits made. I go to insert, I choose a graph. If I want, I can choose a pie, depending on what I want. I can go to more, and then I keep on looking for what I want. I want a pie, and I want a 3D pie, and then I click OK. This is the pie. I can right click at it and I cut it. I take it to this sheet and I paste it there. So this is the pie, and it is showing participant, contributions towards the circle. I can change this looker graph to looker pie. And also the heading, I can click at it and I type a reasonable heading. So the heading is a 3D pie chart showing Luuka Sacco participancy profits made from profits made using percentage. Yeah, so it's my heading, and I can continue to do a lot of stuff I may want with my pie. I can click at my pie, and then I go to chart design, chart element, chart labels. I can put the labels in the center. There are many ways of labeling your chart: inside, outside, etc. etc. The chart can have, you know, a lot of formatting features you may want with it. So depends on what you want, it's what you put at your Pi. So all features of a Pi are found under chart design or even format, depends on what you're doing with your Pi. So I want to go to chart design and I choose um, these are how data is represented in the Pi. Then I can even click at more data labels, and then you can take percentages if you want. You can take a category name if you want, where someone's represented by name, each and every slice showing someone's name, etc. etc. I can close this and I can conclude whatever I have been doing with spreadsheets. Now, a learner is not adding or is not using only one program to solve this task. Like I said in the start, if I look at my cover photo for the video. It's a senior 5 sample question, and learners have at least started 3 programs. You can't use only one program to solve a task. You're just solving a task halfway, and it could affect the scores you're earning in that practical exam. So after doing Excel, you can add in more, more programs. Learners also studied PowerPoint. So I want to add in PowerPoint as well to solve the challenge here. I want to look for PowerPoint on my computer and then I open it so that I can put whatever information I want with PPT. So here we are. PowerPoint is the first program a learner of Senior 5 studies practically. That is Senior 5 Term 1. So that is it with my PowerPoint. I'm going to do something in PowerPoint because at the question here, I think they were even trying to hint on PowerPoint. Here there is presentations in the Sacco meetings. So the Sacco is making presentations. And whenever you hear of presentation, that is PowerPoint straight away. So maybe the Sacco holds meetings and they use PowerPoint as well. So this is my PowerPoint, and of course, a learner again is not guided on how to do it, but they're supposed to use their creativity to do some PowerPoint in a practical exam of ICT. So Luuka Village Sacco is the heading, and this is the information about Luuka Village Sacco in the title slide. So there's information like a presentation to be used in the village hall. Designed by Mr. I can go back to Excel and relate to the names. Maybe it is Mr. Apio Ian designing it. Designed by Mr. Apio Ian. Yeah, my first slide is done, and then I can go and add another slide. Depends on the time. The time mostly, maximally, the item can be done within 1 hour and 10 minutes, or just 1 hour in a paper. So you mind the time when you're applying all the 3 programs. You calculate the time wisely. So I'm going to add a title and content, and this one is going to have the background of local village circle. Yeah, then I type a simple background of local village circle. I have a simple background here. So I want to just put this in my PowerPoint. Yeah, that is my background. And the background again is not given to a learner. A learner generates that content from, from their heads. You're applying creativity to solve a challenge. That a savings and credit cooperative organization, Sacco in Luuka, is a member-owned financial institution that provides a safe place for members to save money and access affordable credit. It was founded by Mr. Waruri and Mark to help individuals who share a common bond, such as working in the same organization, living in the same community, or being involved in similar economic activities, to come up and save money to help them save for the future. It's just a simple background. You can add yours if you want. Next is slide 3. Slide 3 still, title and content. I can give it a heading, uh, Luuka, Luuka Savings Database. Yeah, Luuka Savings Database. And then I see what to put there. Luuka Savings Creativity. Add something like a color to make your work attractive. So I can add this to in the slide. I'm going to add a list graph, or I'm going to use my Excel here. This is my Excel. I'm going to use this. I can take a screenshot, print screen, and then I can just highlight this. Yeah, after highlighting that, I can click at this, and then I give it a full screen. Control S, desktop, and I go to my folder I'm using. This is it. I save it there as screenshot. So I can close it, and I can go to my working folder, this one right here, and then I copy this. I copy this and I paste it in my PowerPoint. That's just a skill that teachers should teach learners when doing Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. Screenshots, copy, paste. So this is Luuka Savings Database, and it's in presentation because it can be presented in a meeting rather than opening a spreadsheet. Sorry about that. Then I can put a link here. I put a link in spreadsheet. I can also put a link in PowerPoint. Links are very important features in the programs. So I can click at a box or a shape. I draw it at the bottom here, and I right click. I select edit text, and I type some information that um, maybe make use of. Oh, sorry. Edit text. Make use of the link to access our Sacco database. Yeah, and then I can make this a link. I can highlight the text once again, and after highlighting it under home, I choose, under insert rather, I choose link, then insert link, and then I can link it to my Excel. Let me first close my Excel, then I link to it successfully. Yeah, I want to save. So I can click at existing file, then from the desktop here, I can choose the folder I'm using. It's here, desktop rather. Then I look for the folder I'm using, Luuka participants loaded. Click OK, and when I'm running a slideshow, let me first click at the slide. I mean the shape format, no fill. Then shape outline, no outline. Yeah, so that when I run this, when I run a slideshow from here, and then I can click at this, it can link to my Excel. I'm not running a slideshow because it may affect the software I'm using to record this very video. Back to slide 1. Learner studies designs. They can add designs. They can add page, backgrounds, solid. You can add a background provided it is not covering your work. Something like that. Luuka Village Sacco. Mixing the colors. Learners should add a lot of formatting features they've been studying. Opio. I can, you put colors that are attracting someone's attention. Even this, give it a design. If you have your time, put slide masters, put a lot of things. Transitions, very important. Put transitions at your work. This it is you're applying the knowledge you're studying in these programs. So on the last slide, in PowerPoint, we can use maybe a conclusion slide to conclude whatever you've been talking about in your presentation. I can give it a heading that conclusion. Yeah, then after you can type conclusion that the presentation has been prepared by Mr. I'm not sure of the name I used. That's Apio Ian by Mr. Apio Ian, the Sacco secretary. Make use of the data presented to know more about the make use of the data presented to know more about the Sacco activities. Yeah. So this is my presentation. Like I was saying, you can add the various designs if you want, because you're trying to to show that you can use these programs to solve a challenge. So you're adding a lot of formatting features to show that you can solve a challenge that is at hand. So that is it with the presentation. So this is my presentation about the the Luuka Sacco. There are a lot of formatting features. Goes back to learner's creativity. The more you make your presentation look nice, the more marks you earn. The more you make your Excel look okay, the more marks you earn. And the more you make your Word look fine, the more scores you earn. So under insert, I can decide to put a word art, something like this. I can delete this. Click at the line, delete, and move the structure to the top. Yeah, I can decide to move this to the top. That is the conclusion. So this is my presentation about Luuka Village Sacco. So the second program is down. I can close it and I can give it a location. Seems I've not created this in my folder. Desktop, I'm using this folder of mine, Luuka Village Sacco presentation. The renaming is so vital in a practical exam. So I have Luuka presentation, I have Luuka Excel, and I want to stop at Luuka Word because goes back to my video cover. I'm trying to incorporate three programs as studied in Senior 5 to solve a practical task. So I can put this down again and I can go and load Word so that I can continue solving the issue that is at hand. So back to the question. The question is here and the presentation is done and I'm heading to reports. Whenever I hear of reports, that is word processing. They need you to do word processing. Even here at each participant should at least receive a letter, a report for their participation with photos attached. Profit is to be calculated as it's the first one here, sorry, that each participant should at least receive a report for their participation with their photos attached. So here we are. A learner is supposed to come up with a report, a brief report, something brief that can make a report. So, I can type something brief like Luuka Village um, Sacco data as of October 2025. Then here I put in the video reports. In some cases, a learner can be provided with a report in the support folders, but in other cases, a learner is not given a report. You should just come up with your own brief report so that you solve this hint. There's a hint here that each participant should at least receive a report of their participation with photos attached. So it's what I'm trying to solve. At least each person should have a report with their photos and then they should receive it. So it's what I'm trying to solve at word processing here. So at my report, I'm going to um, do the following. I can pick something brief here. Mm, something brief, something brief. Uh, so for this case, a learner is not provided with anything that can make a report, but yeah, you can come up with a simple report that is going to be forwarded to various people um, through mail merge, maybe from Esther, Olivia, Mark, Luuka, Village, Village Sacco, PO Box, 123, and on the 10th day of October 2025. Yeah, and then I can push this to the right through highlighting it, take it to the right, and proceed to the left. Here I can type something like 2. Here I'm going to just apply my Excel. I've done Excel already. I started with Excel, and if I load my Excel, if I want to merge Word and Excel, I should know the meaning of merged fields, the fields I can use to merge. For example, here, two, two a name can go there. ID is already here. I'm going to find ways of adding these as merged fields. So back to my one, two, enter. I put ID. Yeah, then participation, identification number. Yeah, then I already have 3 merge fields. The ID was in Excel, even two, the name was in Excel, even participation identification number, it was in Excel. That I add greetings, then we thank you, and you made a profit of. Where you see the dashes, those are merged fields I want to pick from Excel. If I look at my Excel, 2 is a name, the name is here. What else? ID is the number. ID is here, the number. Is it? The number. Anyway, ID is the photo. I'll put the photos there manually. The number is also there. What else? Even you contributed, contribution, then profit, position, with the position, mentioned what say about your saving. This is a comment. The dashes, that's about the about merged fields. Of course, the heading is outstanding, highlighted. This is just learners' creativity. Learners are taught that in word processing, learners can add word processing knowledge. The heading could be, something like that, underlined. Then page colors under design, page color, choose a color that doesn't cover your text that much. Uh, I can continue adding the size of this. Yeah, yeah. Then I can also put a watermark, design watermark. I can put a custom watermark, maybe text and uh, Luuka, Luuka Sacco, and a color that is visible in my letter Luuka Sacco. So I can now merge because the hint I'm working with was pushing me to merge that each participant should at least receive a report of their participation with the photos attached. Whenever I'm merging, I close my Excel and I go back to my word processing. I follow the simple steps of merging. I go to mailings, select recipients, use existing list, and I look for the Excel I want. Under desktop, I'm using this, then Luuka, open. If I open a locator sheet, I don't want to use the heading sheet because it was only the heading there. I don't want to use the sheet with a pie, that's a pie chart. And I don't want to use the sheet that was the original. That was the original work without any calculation made. So I want to use a sheet of formatted contents and I click OK. So after clicking OK, I go back to insert merge fields and then I put them there. I want to start with 2. 2 is here. 2, I delete the dots and then I put 2, a name was there. For ID, a photo will go there. I can leave ID, but for number, a number goes here. Go back to insert merge fields, participant number. A learner studies mail merge in word processing. So your learners should have knowledge about mail merge when doing a practical exam. That is senior 5. Then contribution goes here. The contribution that was made, it's going to go here. Merge fields, savings made. What else? Profit goes here. Profit of. Profit here. Position goes here. Remove the dots and put the position. Position is here. And lastly, it's a comment. Remove this and put a comment, a general comment on the Sacco head. Yeah, so that's it with all my fields I've put there. I've not put the field of ID because the program may find it so hard to put, you know, this participant ID. I'll put the IDs as the last resort manually. So I want to click at finish and merge and then edit individual documents and then I click OK so that each and every participant has their own letter that has been merged. Before I conclude the very important part of merging, I want to just put some photos because uh, these letters belong to various people and these people have photos. So I want to go to my support folder I'm using for this video. I pick a photo and then I place it into the report. So Abridged support, I open passport photos, I copy this one. This is Mr. Waluya. So I'm going to go to Mr. Waluya's letter. It's the first one here. And then I paste here. The photo is big. Mr. Waluya, the man looks like that, very happy in the Sacco. Maybe he's gaining a lot from the Sacco. So here we are, Mr. Waluya. I'm going to just reduce the size of the photo so that it can fit there. So Mr. Waluya, there we are. His photo is right there. I proceed. This letter belongs to Mr. Kaketo Abdu. I want to delete this and then I look for his photo and I put it here. Back to the support folders I'm using. Mr. Kaketo is right here. Click at it, Ctrl C, back to the letters and paste Ctrl V. So that is Mr. Kaketo for you. I want to just reduce on the size. Make sure to reduce on the size so that your letter really fits on only one page. So that to save on the papers you're using to print. So this is Mr. Kaketo Abdu, and that is his photo 3. Aina Babazijan, Miss Aina Babazijan. So I want to pick her photo also, and then I put it there. She's here. Number 3. Ctrl C, back to Word, and paste. Yeah, pasted in Word. I want to just reduce on the size of the photo so that it fits within the letter. So that is the madam over there. That is it. That's her photo. And I'm heading to number 4, the fourth participant in the Sacco. That is Mr. Ainemukama Amos. If I go to the photos, Mr. Ainemukama Amos is here. Ctrl C, back to Word, paste it there. So the learner should know how to even transfer, to place photos in Word. They are taught all that in one processing. That is Mr. Inemukama. I can reduce on the photos that it fits in his personalized letter he's going to receive. So that is it. That is his photo. Next up is Mr. Apio Ian. This person typed the letters. I think even designed the presentation. I used his name. Number 5, Mr. Apio Ian is here. Control C. I can paste it. Enter. Then I paste, and then I can just reduce on his passport photo. Yeah, that is Mr. Apio Ian. As I head to number 6. Number 6 is Mr. Chirunda Farid. Mr. Chirunda Farid is also part of us in Luuka and is number 6. Control C. And I go back to my letter and then I paste it there. I just reduce on the size of the passport photo so that it fits in the letter properly. 7, Mrs. Nakato Margaret. Mrs. Nakato Margaret is number 7, and she's right here. Control C, paste in the letter, and then reduce on the size of the photo so that it can fit on one page. 8, Mr. Luyombia Wycliffe. Mr. Luyombia Wycliffe. Mr. Luyombia Wycliffe is also part of us in Luuka. Is here, number 8. I can paste it there. That is the man, number 8. And then I just reduce on the photo size so that it fits on his letter. Then, number 9, Mr. Mosenguzi Joshua. So is right here, number 9. Control C, and yeah, I can paste his photo there, Mr. Musenguzi, and then I reduce it. Is number 9 as we head to the last participant in our Sacco. So you're seeing that you're using computer programs to solve a challenge of manual records. All your records are now kept on a computer safely. It is the way to go. Control C. The last one is Mr. Sechiganda. Very happy is here. I can reduce on the size of the photo so that it fits on one, on one page. So this is the last participant, I think, number 11, and the two letters. I think the Excel, the Excel, I think affected them. Let me go back to number 1. All the information is there: the number, shillings contributed, profit, comments. I think all people are there, and they go up to number, is it 10? Yeah, number 9, then 10. Yeah, then 10. Then this one here, this one is another letter I don't need. This one is another letter I do not need. So I'm going to stop at number 10, and I don't need these letters down here. I think they're affected with the Excel ID that is around the, was it the the proof and the percentage, something like, and the total rather. Yeah, so I can highlight them and delete them so that I stop at the 10th letter, and then I can save this letter. I can save it. More options. I go to save as, browse, then desktop. I look for my folder I'm using, and then Luuka participant reports. Yeah, then I click OK, all letters. Then I click OK, and then they are saved in my folder. So this is the folder I'm using, and I can close this. Same applies to the question. I can also close it. I can close it, and then I can save this. I can save this again. Whenever you're doing merging, you're supposed to save again, and then you put your you put your content in your location, your folder location. Just look for your location and save again. Whenever you do merging, you're supposed to save again. Look for the desktop, and then open your working folder and save again. You can save this as Luuka reports. Yeah, and then I don't need Chrome. I can close it, and also the content that is open here, I can close everything. I can close everything literally apart from the snipping tool I'm using to record the tutorial. So once again, I can open and then I view whether my work is fine. I can start from participants loaded. This was Excel. I started with Excel. I did the calculations in Excel. This was the original calculations, the heading, Luuka Pi. Yeah, I went to presentation. Learner is using the three programs. The senior 5 learner is using the three programs. They have studied to solve a task or a problem. So here at presentation, I've talked of presentation. The learner can add a lot. Animations are there. Add animation, more entrance, fade, etc. You can add a lot depending on your creativity. Speaker notes, etc, etc. So this is my presentation. I can close it and save. Then also the local participant reports, if I open them, they are all attached there with the participant having their um, passport photo at their letter. Yeah, also, if I compare the question with whatever I have done, seems I have exploited almost everything. Because if I open this, if I open the question, I did the four calculations in Excel. I did that first. Then I was talking about this, I did a presentation and I've done the reports and I've made use of the support folder, and I've also created individual, reports to the various participants. So it seems I've done almost everything with the question here. Like I've said, I'm going to attach all the documents I've been using in this video so that you can practice as well. A teacher, you can test your learners by giving them this question. And for the learners, you can practice. You look at, you know, the proposed way on how your question is going to look like, the practical question. Those are senior 5 learners. And then you get to cope up. People have not done ICT at O level. Try to build brick per brick. You can be there. You can do 3 programs within 1 hour and 10 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever. You can apply at least 3 programs in a paper. So I want to attach the support folders here, and I want to attach the detailed syllabus for A level, also the syllabus book and the scenario question in this video tutorial. Thank you, viewers. Thank you for those who are commenting. Thank you for those who are providing feedback to me. Thank you for those who are asking for support folders and help. For any queries, the numbers in my my account, the numbers are on top there. Feel free to contact me for help and related services. That has been it with what I wanted to share with you today. That has been it with what I wanted to share with you today. I wanted to share with you this abridged curriculum, a practical question for senior 5. And that has been it. Thank you for viewing this video. Thank you for the positive feedback. I wish you a nice November ahead and a nice 2026 ahead. Thank you so much for everything. Good evening and bye bye.